Welcome back to another episode, and this time we have an artist. Her name is Kavita, and I met her, and that immediately the first thing that came out of our head is we are vibing together. So she is yet another vibe partner I have in the community. Hi Kavita, how are you doing?
Hi, Marina. Thank you so much for having me here. I've been so looking forward to doing this with you. Like you said, vibe attracts your tribe.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, Kavita. So tell me, what do you do and how did it all started?
So basically, I'm a visual artist. I visualize and, I make art, as you know. All that I do exudes a lot of colorful patterns, vibes, brings a lot of positivity. Basically, it's about interweaving magic in your head and bringing it out onto the canvas.
Okay. So rather than scribbling on the piece of paper, you end up making
Yes.
beautiful arts.
Absolutely. I think we all start with scribbling,
Yes.
and that's when we progress to doing what we do.
Yeah, I have never able to come out of scribbling and go into the art.
I think while we were in school, when our professors were teaching us, when
Yeah.
we were bored, I think we were actually doodling. We were scribbling, which is now
Yes.
called doodling.
Yes.
So, yes, I think everybody is
Starts
an
off
artist.
from there.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
definitely.
Okay. So now that you are in Dubai, how long are you from in Dubai?
So, I moved to Dubai in 2000. And
24 good years.
yes, a long way, yes. And lived here for too long, know the country very well, call it home.
Yes.
So, yes, UAE, I think, is home to many of us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Once you are in this country, you don't feel like going back.
Absolutely.
And I think so this country gives the best growth possible.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Yes.
Yeah, that's there. Okay. So what inspired you to become an artist?
So, like I said, I moved here in 2000, and I am a humanities student with a master's in public relations. So, I have pursued travel in my initial years as my job. And when I moved in 2000, I took up a travel job, soon had to give it up because I had a young child at home, and my husband used to travel a lot on work. So, that kind of forced me to stay home. So out of boredom, I started doing some basic bit of painting. And I kept on with it. And in 2004, I had done about 70 Ganesha glass paintings.
Wow.
Yeah, without realizing I'd accumulated so much. And I had a small exhibition at home. And I kid you not, I sold more than 50 pieces, which was like crazy. And that kind of, told me that I got this within me. People told me they appreciated. They said, you should continue. So in 2011, I started home tutoring with a teacher who came home. And there used to be a bunch of us women who got together once a week.
Wow.
And for an hour, we started these kind of classes. It was more a fun thing. But then I kept painting, and every time I put it up on social media, people would tell me that it's wonderful. Soon people started asking me if I was selling, if I could do commission works and things like that. So I kind of upmarked myself and did a whole lot of courses online, workshops online, where I began learning on my own. So basically, I'm a self-taught artist who couldn't draw or paint initially.
That's like amazing, how a thing just out of boredom has come into life and you have made it like a career path for yourself.
Yes. I think it's a hobby which turned into a passion.
Passion, absolutely.
Yes.
And what kind of opportunities did you get because of this kind of an art? What are the opportunities that you have got?
So basically, I do a lot of work with the community. I believe in working for the community, by the community. God has been kind. I've participated in a lot of exhibition, international art fair, about 6 times at the World Art Dubai. I was one of the top 20 emerging artists. I've been at the Ras Al Khaimah Fine Arts Festival 2 years in a row. A lot of international exhibitions. And I've done a lot of workshops with people of determination, children of determination, women of abuse. God has been kind. Opportunities aplenty.
And I think you have also been recognized for that. when the golden visa thing came into existence.
Yes.
And you have been even been given by that. How did that journey
So
went into?
in 2021, December, that was when Dubai Arts and Culture invited me as a class of creators, and I was bestowed with the Golden Visa, which is also known as the Cultural Visa.
Wow.
So these were given out initially to some of the well-known artists and the artists who have contributed to the community and the society through art.
And did anything change after that?
Yes, it did change a lot, definitely.
Would you like to put some light?
It has been different, definitely. You're recognized, the country has recognized you for all that you have done. So definitely it's a recognition and comes very high.
Okay. Now, see, when I don't like to come to office every other day because it feels like boredom.
Yeah.
And I'm no more in a place where, it's the salary that I take, right? So I end up skipping. So does the same thing happen to you as well in your art profession?
Of course, I'm a creator. It's not like I'm motivated 24/7 or charged up all the time. I have my dull days too. There are several months that I don't pick up a brush to paint.
Wow.
You'll be surprised. I'm one of those artists who can't work on one painting at one time. I have 4 paintings running simultaneously, different genres. So I go back every now and then, revisit each of them because I get bored very easily. So, it's enthralling if I'm going to be working on 4 different canvases. So that's how it is. I mean, your creative mojo is not forever.
Yeah. And because now it's more of content creation and more of those kind of things. What has happened is every day people want something new.
Yes.
Is it difficult to speed up with that?
Yes, it is very difficult. Oh my God, this with content creation, it's like an axe over your head. It's like you need to keep putting it out there for social media. People are so thirsty for it. So you have to up your game and be on it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, if Kavita was not an artist, who would she be?
Well, as I told you, I was in the travel. I would be owning my own travel company.
Do you love traveling?
I love traveling.
I think I even saw your recent pictures. Where were you?
We were first in UK and then in Serbia.
Okay.
Yes.
And how was it?
It was beautiful. In fact, I take a lot of motivation through my travels. The culture, the food, the people I meet, all that talks a lot in my art. As you can see, my art is very colorful and vibrant.
Yes.
So, I draw a lot of motivation from my travels as well.
So travel is a very important part, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. How will your art help us in the corporate environment?
So one thing that people have taught us post-COVID is not just physical health. Mental health is extremely important. I think you need to be mentally fit for you to perform, whether it is at work, at home, in society, wherever. So I've taken art to the next level where I've given it as therapy. So I do a lot of therapy sessions for individuals, for corporates, or as a group, So people can reach out to me, corporates as well, where we could do team building exercises, make it arty and fun for their staff.
And with that, you think the team bonding will become better?
Definitely. Art kind of calms you down. Like I said, everybody has a creative side to themselves.
Yeah.
It's not necessary you need to know how to draw or paint. It's all there in your heart. All you need to do is just pick up a pencil. You don't know what's going to come out onto a piece of paper or canvas. So that is to de-stress and therapize.
Absolutely. Who was your inspiration when you were trying to learn the art form and everything?
So I love Vincent van Gogh.
Okay.
He's my favorite artist. Now, I don't want to go into details as to why, because people do know him as a great artist, but he's one of my favorite artists.
Favorite artist?
Yes.
Okay. Can you share us some memorable experiences during your entire journey?
Well, I've got quite a few of them. Like I said, in 21 December, I was bestowed with a cultural visa.
Okay.
In June 22, I was given the Kalpana Chawla Women's Achievers Award for women empowerment in the field of art. Now, this came as a sure shot surprise because these days, awards are bought.
Yeah.
Nothing is for real. So I'd like to tell you this story. I mean, I had an email from Science India Forum saying that I had won the Kalpana Chawla Award. And I ignored the email because I thought it was a spam or it was a scam because, way back then it was quite. So I let it be. The second time around, after a couple of days, I got a second email and I never responded because I didn't know what this was all about. Eventually, I got a phone call from somebody from Science India Forum, asked me, why aren't you responding? So I said, hey, I thought this was a scam. I didn't even know that I had been nominated for this. Somebody had nominated my name and they had gone through my portfolio and they reached out to me. So this was the icing on the cake. I mean, something that I wasn't even aware of. So I assumed that the community is watching and seeing what you do, all the positivity that you put in through your art, the hard work. So that was the ceiling on it,
So the community really built you up. Let's go to the focus of community angle
Yes. So there were two more things which really, have really showcased my career was in 2022 as well. I got to illustrate the cover book for my father's book on Indian cinema.
Wow.
So, he got me to illustrate the cover page, and that was his dream baby, and I got to be a part of it. So that was something very close to my heart. And one of my paintings called Breathe, has been chosen for a lifetime to be showcased in South Korea in one of their museums.
Wow.
So it is there right now. So, these as an artist are something which,
Have you been to the museum where it is?
I haven't been yet, but it's on my bucket list.
We'll
go there together.
Yeah. Because South Korea is in my itinerary.
Definitely, we'll do it together. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's bring a little bit of focus. It's a great achievement, and I'm sure you're going to have many more of them in the coming period of time. But let's focus on community. How does community help you? And when did you realize that community is helping you to grow?
So basically, besides being an artist, I do a lot of networking sessions.
Yeah.
I think you really need to network first to get yourself out there. That's how you come into connection with people.
Yeah.
If people need to cross-refer you, you need to collaborate.
Yes.
These days, it's all about collaboration. You build each other up. I strongly believe in doing that, collaborating and building not only myself, also my peers.
Yeah.
So I think the community has really helped me grow in terms of collaboration.
Yeah. And that is one of the reasons why we are sitting on this table also.
Absolutely.
Right? And many more things that happen in our everyday life. Absolutely. So now, have you had a piece of art? This is my favorite question, by the way, okay? Have you had a piece of art that you thought it's amazing, but everyone else thought, nah?
Oh, yes, I've had a couple of them like that. One especially is this huge, I think it's about 120 by 120 centimeters. That's like 1.2 feet, whatever. And not feet, really huge
I know
one.
from my table size.
Yeah, so 120 by 120 is bigger than this.
Yeah.
There was this metallic Buddha that I was working on, and there's I'm a mixed media artist, so I believe in playing with a lot of texture.
Okay.
And I went on building texture over months. And it was basically a side profile of Buddha. And I poured my heart and time into it. And I thought that looked really good. And when I brought it home, my family had different things to say. They said, never looked like Buddha and, all those kind of things. That is still my favorite piece. It hangs in my house. Okay. But no.
So it's like gar ki murgi
Dal barabar. There
isn't
you go.
it?
Yeah.
So the critics are sitting at home over there.
Absolutely. So there you go. So my husband and son are my first critics.
Okay.
They're always there to tell me yes, no. Yeah. And, they give their honest feedback. And I think you do require that as an artist.
How do you take feedbacks? Not just from them, even see when it is family and when it is at home, we can even fight them out, right? Like
Yeah.
we can put our points out
So
there.
initially, I used to get very upset.
Okay.
I'll be very honest with you.
Yeah.
I used to never like it when people told me it doesn't look good. And, those were my initial stages as an
Yeah.
artist. You think everything looks pretty and everything is perfect and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But initially, I never liked it. I used to get very upset and, I used to put up a fight and I used to get into anger and stuff like that. But I think now I've kind of learned to embrace it, and I think I like the criticism. So it kind of gives me a different perspective to look at it, the art as it.
Okay.
Yes, so that's how it is. But I think criticism
Now
is
I'm going
good.
to ask you some financial questions. Are you ready for it?
Let's go for it.
Okay. Being an artist and finances, do they work like together, or they are up and down and up?
So, there's something that people need to know as an artist: you don't make too much money. Financial stability is, so it's not, every day is not the same.
Yeah.
So as an artist, you just don't do art and exhibit. So what you probably need to do is diversify, get into workshops. You need to do, art workshops. You can do art therapy. You can do classes, exhibit. You can do commission work. So you really need to diversify whatever you're doing. So that's another way of looking at it, besides showcasing your art with different galleries as well.
Yeah. See, for me, before entering into the networking world, I was looking at the TVs, right? So for me, it was like, okay, they are auctioning this art for $15 million and this and that. And I'm like, kya baat hai? It's like a lot of money.
Exactly.
Just do one. And there are, guys, I'm not trying to critique anyone. Okay. It's like, some paint put over here, some paint put over there. But then it gets sold at a very good value.
Yes.
How does that shift happens? Or is it only happening for a certain
No,
period
see,
of people?
I'm glad you brought this up. See, there was a time in the recent past where people talking about NFTs.
Yes.
Yes. So then when NFTs were the in thing, nobody wanted to buy physical art. Everybody was talking about virtual art.
Yeah.
So then what happens to artists like us?
Yeah.
That was a thing. And then eventually we realized that phased out. So I think everything has its, turn, and it's a cycle, which kind of comes back full circle. So yes.
That way.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How clean is your house? Or the
well-
room that you do your artwork?
So my workspace is never clean. Being an artist, it can never be clean. But having said that, I also have an OCD.
Okay.
So I always make sure that I am, scheduled, and everything is, scheduled for and regularized, and everything in and around me is neat. But of course, my workspace is a mess.
Is
most
a
of the
mess.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that is the true artist
Yes, I
sign,
mean, that's-
right?
yeah, that's
your
it.
apron has to be as dirty as
Yes,
possible.
colourful, as colourful, yes,
As colourful.
yes, you have to,
sorry
you
for
know.
the wrong choice of
Brushes
words.
strewn around with color, and yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
For the rest of your life, if you have to choose to paint or live with one color, what color would it be?
This is a very wrong question to ask an artist, because
That is the reason we have
because
asked.
I play with several colors. If you notice on a day-to-day life, be it the blue sky, be it the green fields, be it the colors of the food, the fruits and vegetables in your kitchen.
Yeah.
There's colors everywhere. It's very difficult to choose one color and ride with it for the rest of your life. It's difficult, and especially for someone like me, whose art is so colorful. My positivity comes through my colorful art.
Close your eyes and tell me one color. I'm not leaving you alone with it.
That's a difficult one.
Okay, I forgive you. Okay. How do you reach out to a wider community through your art? And is there a message to your audience?
Right. Like I said, everybody has a creative side to them. So I'd like to request the community and people to come forward, take part in art activities and art workshops. Discover yourself, Art, it could be doodling, it could be drawing, it could be sketching, or even painting. There are several things you can do with art. It's very calming and very therapeutic. If you ask me to sit in front of God and pray, my mind, even 2 minutes, will be swirling. I'll be thinking of what's happening in the kitchen, what's happening here. But art is something that allows me to meditate and concentrate. The concentration is a form of meditation.
Yeah.
So if you are into meditation, you want to relax and calm yourself, I would definitely tell everyone, please come and explore art. They could reach out to me anytime. I'm always available on social media. They could reach out to me on my Instagram handle, which is Cavs Arts. And I will be more than willing to help out people, anything that I can do in terms with the art.
That's amazing. So now, the other day, I had gone for this Independence Day event and I bumped into someone. And then the someone was into the media and the marketing. So how did that shift happen?
I know. It was too sudden, yeah, Marina. To be honest with you, having lived here for so long, I think I've been here too long and I keep going. I'm one of those who's a foodie who likes to explore restaurants.
So we need to meet more often.
Yes. Restaurants, and every time I travel, if there's a concert happening, every time I put it out there, people are willing to go with me or take my opinion. So I said, so that is some kind of influencing that you're doing at your level.
Yeah.
So unknowingly, I got into it firstly earlier on this year. I don't know if you know Ayush Radha of social media fame.
Okay.
So she was doing her show in the Middle East, and the event company from India reached out to me. Okay. So that was my first official event where I got into influencing for her. And then after that, I have been doing it for several other events. Some of the well-known ones were Bharat Utsav, Chakte India, where we had Sukhwinder, and a lot of brands as well I have been influencing. I think basically it's about meeting people, networking, and PR. I love that.
And is it like, do you feel when you're doing that, is it consuming a lot of your time or is it making you relax? Because now that you're off your art world, you go to meet some real people, physical people. Does it bring in more energy into you, or how does it drain you? Like for me, it drains me at times.
Right.
If there's something happening in the morning, something happening in the evening, or if it's happening 4-5 times in a week.
Correct.
But you guys do it more often.
Correct. So it is quite stressful because you need to plan your calendar. Yes, because some days I have double booked myself without realizing that I already have an event. Yes, it is stressful. I don't say no, but I do enjoy meeting people and networking. I'm a people person. So I love that. The energy re-energizes me.
Yes, absolutely.
You would understand that. You're pretty similar to me.
Yeah. I believe in the power of networking, and I know it can do wonders.
Absolutely.
And I have seen it happening for my life.
Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of things have happened in your life as well.
Right.
Yeah. Now I have one question from your kids' school world. Mm-hmm. So is it used to be like that? His art, craft, whatever was to be submitted in school used to be the awesome one because Mama used to help him to do it?
No, unfortunately, my son hates art. So I used to send my son to this teacher in the building to learn art, and it was like a nightmare for him. I don't know why he disliked art. There's this one instance we'd gone for a movie, and I think it was Madagascar. We went for the movie for him. And through the movie, he had turned himself all around and he kept asking me, do I have to go to art class tomorrow? Will you send me? I don't want to go. So it was like a nightmarish thing. And I even asked him till date, I asked him, your mom's an artist. What was it that you were so horrendous or horrified about, He's not one of those who... No. So he tried to avoid whenever there was something to do with a drawing or an art-based project, he would avoid it. So he'd never come to me with it. Although I would tell him I'll assist him. No, never happened.
Okay. let's talk about travel, 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 travel.
Definitely. You
Yeah.
love traveling too. I know that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I just need buddy partners to travel. So, how do you travel more often? Is it family, solos?
So I've mostly done with family. My spouse loves traveling too. But solo is definitely on my bucket list. I want to do that. I want to explore,
Okay.
because I've never done that on my own. But I really love traveling, and we try and travel every year to some new destination. We've done over 25 countries.
Wow.
And I just love travel, the food, the culture, like I said earlier on, everything, there's so much to do, and I just love it.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, which is your favorite country up until now?
It used to be Switzerland.
Okay.
And of course, Africa is very close to my heart. I grew up in Africa.
Okay.
As a child. So I was 10 years in Africa. So Africa is something where it's like home, second home. So I took back my family a couple of years back to the African safari to show them how it was and things like that. So Africa is always close to my heart. But definitely, I like Europe as well. I like Switzerland a lot. I've been there thrice already.
Wow.
So which kind of, speaks for
itself.
Yeah.
So, few memories from the African world and what you did there, even though it's your childhood memory. I don't know whether you'll remember.
So, yes. So, there's this very stark memory. I was first in East Africa and then later in West Africa.
Okay.
And as we were wrapping up to leave the country to return back to India, West Africa is very notorious. You have these armed robbers and things like that. So we had this incident where we were driving, coming back after cycling. My brother, I've got a younger brother, we got a new cycle for my brother, and we'd finish cycling and we'd come back. And at the signal at gunpoint, we were robbed. They had put the gun onto my father's head and they wanted to drive away the car. And back in the day, there used to be these Peugeot cars where the doorknob was kind of rounded.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Easily.
And we were sitting at the back and we were unable to, because before the signal changes green, they want us to get out of the car and drive away. And I managed to get out. My brother was on the other side and he was unable to get off. And that was a horrendous experience because we would have lost him but somehow we managed to get him out of the car and they drove away with the car So this is an experience that we've had. This I'm talking about 35 years ago
back.
when things were difficult then. We used to keep jewelry and cash under our pillows, always ready for the armed robbers if they came into the house, things like that. So this is a memory which will stay with me forever because I've seen that
happening to
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I know it's not something that you would like to speak, but thank you.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to some exciting part. So, what part of traveling do you hate the most?
The packing.
Overpacking or
Yes.
underpacking?
Oh, I'm very bad at that. I always overpack. I can never pack small. My family says if they got to travel with me, it's very difficult because I can never travel small because I'm always thinking of what if it rains, what if it's this cold, or if it's warm, You know how it is as a traveler. I'm always in awe when I see people pack small. They go with these small trolley bags. I could never do that.
I know, and I tried doing a trip recently, and it was like 3 or 4 days. We had to go to Georgia.
Wow.
Okay, and I tried packing small. Okay,
Right.
Still, once I reached there, I was not so happy with the stuff that, even though I still had access. Okay,
Correct.
I still could not feel like, oh, I traveled with the luggage. I did not. And when you travel back to India, 30 kgs are never enough.
True that. Tell me about it, all the gifts that you're carrying. And when I look at people who travel with an overnighter bag, small. My husband travels a lot on work. Every other week, he's in and out of the country.
Yeah.
So when I see him pack in 10 minutes and I'm like, God, how's he doing that? It takes me 3 or 4 days before my travel. I start putting in things.
Yeah.
And then I wonder, how is he managed to? Of course, men are men, but still.
They don't have the perfumes, the skincare products, and I don't know.
There's so much that we need to look into, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to traveling with you soon.
Yeah, and if Also, this is another question. Visas, are they easy for you? Because you now travel a lot.
Easy, yes. Schengen has always been a problem. It
Yeah.
always will stay a problem, probably. I don't know, even no matter how much you plan for it, Schengen is always
Yeah.
an issue. But
And
otherwise,
I think it's good that it's a little bit of a problem because otherwise every other person wants to go to Europe
that
and
could also be it, yes.
we are overcrowding them as well.
True. So that's the reason this year when we visited the UK, we chose Serbia because it was visa on arrival
Yeah.
if you had the UK or US visa on your passport. But yes, like you say, I think they also probably want to try and minimize. But I think they really need to make it much more easy and simpler if they
Yeah.
want more people traveling.
Yeah. And have you been on a girlcation or a girl travel vacation?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I do a lot of these kind of girly things. Yes, with my tribe. Yes,
Yeah.
staycays and trips.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good
Yes.
because I think I did one after good 10 years. I went back with my college people.
Exactly. So I
And-
do this regularly with my college friends.
Yeah, that's
You know,
good.
it's a
you know?
reunion. That's when you catch up, and they are the people you've grown with. They know who you are. You don't have to be what you're not.
Yes,
Yeah?
absolutely, absolutely. So that's an amazing part. So we are definitely doing a Korea trip together.
For sure, we'll
to
go.
see your painting out there.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And please send us the picture so we can put it up on the screen
For
as
sure,
well.
for sure.
So people who can't go to Korea, you guys can view it from our YouTube channel.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Kavita. It was
Thank
a pleasure
you,
having
Marina.
you. And you were awesome. So all the butterflies are gone from your stomach. Now you know how a podcast has been done and how casual it can be.
Absolutely. You've put me so much to ease.
Yeah.
And I really loved being here. And thank you so much.
And thank you for choosing me as your host because I know if you have the right people, a right energy,
Yeah.
magic can happen.
Absolutely. Like I said, your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yes,
Yeah, and you're my tribe. So the vibe matches.
I'm going to
Definitely.
be in her tribe for travel as well. That's what I'm looking forward to.
For sure.
Thank you. And please follow her on her Instagram page. She's already very famous, so you can always add on more follows to it. The YouTube video will come in our Procast YouTube channel and Spotify as well if you don't like to see us and only want to listen. And apart from that, thank you for having anybody else feels like that chair is dangerous. No, it's not. Come down. I look for people who are trying to come out of their comfort zone and explore this kind of social media really helps a lot. And she is a golden visa holder, and that couldn't have happened if she didn't put things on social media and people wouldn't have recognized her. So it's a big motivation. Thank you so very much. Pleasure having you on board.
Thank you so much for having. And like Marina said, you guys need to come here and explore Procast and Marina and her couch.